Hey Merch Hunters, Ricky back, and today we're going to talk about some more Devil Fruit ideas. So welcome to Devil Fruit Ideas Part 7. First up, we're going to talk about the Dinosaur Fruit Dragon Ancient Model Stegosaurus. This was suggested by Milo Self-Esteem, which is just a hilarious name. Thank you for being a recent sub, and welcome to the channel. So, to bust out the immediate facts of this absolute amazing idea for a fruit, he suggested first that the spines on its back and tail can rotate like a buzzsaw. Fantastic idea. I think you might be Oda's brother, because that is something I never would have thought of, and clearly that is something probably Oda did think of. So, now these creatures could get anywhere between like 21 feet long and 6 foot tall, with about 3.3 metric tons. Now, I forgot what a metric ton is, so as usual, I put my mistakes in the edits, so just look for that below. Just the sheer size force of that kind of creature in a devil fruit is insane. You know what I mean? The first thing we can think of off the jump, like he said, and that's why Gigan is in the thumbnail, Gigan from Godzilla. Godzilla rules. Anyways, you would essentially be a kaiju man, just like with all the other dinosaur-style devil fruits. This one, like he said, you got a buzzsaw on your back as your main power. I also want to add a couple more powers, because why not? How about shooting off a couple spines, finger pistol style, but instead, you shoot the spines and they can either come back like boomerangs, or they just reload onto your back automatically. Either way, I think that's very cool. Another thing you could do with the spines on your tail is, like rotate around very fast and use them to stop on cue and just like body slam into someone. I don't know what name techniques I could think of off the top of my head for these devil fruits. I mean, for this specific devil fruit power, but just the, hybrid form. Let's talk about that. Let's say you're already 6 feet tall and you automatically shift into Stegosaurus form, hybrid form in battle, and you get an additional 6 feet hopped onto that. Plus, you got the spikes going down your back and your neck down and back. You kind of look like Godzilla almost, except your spines either shoot off like a boomerang as one of your powers that you train for, and you somehow unlock the ancient power of a Stegosaurus, like how Queen said it. And then you also, you might body check them into a wall, turn around, and just Gigan style start buzzsawing them relentlessly. Who's gonna stop that? That's so good. So great suggestion, Milo. Let's add it further. Hockey applications. Observation hockey, I just see it being utilized as just like a regular type of power with this fruit. Not necessarily like using in tandem with the fruit to make it better, unless you're going with the boomerang spines, right? If you're shooting out the spines like super crazy, I can see you needing observation hockey to pinpoint your enemy or at least track them further. However, we get into armament hockey, or maybe even conqueror's coding, but let's just keep it real with armament, right? With armament, you're using it as like your spine buzzsaw, right? A buzzsaw with armament hockey, which means you're like already getting harder than diamond coated, like picture like the bandsaw, the giant bandsaw at your local department store that's like cutting giant chunks of wood that are like 15 inches thick, and it's doing it effortlessly. Imagine what a One Piece character can do to a rock, or a boat for that matter. Imagine, right, getting in a fight with a Stegosaurus fruit user, and you think you're some hot stuff, and you go into a ship naval battle with him, and that dude just jumps from his ship onto yours, gets down on his back, and just starts like rotating into your ship's stern, and just cuts your ship clean in half. Oh well, no more pirate journey for you. And two other applications I could think of off the jump is maybe like rolling into a ball with the spikes out still, and using that like buzzsaw momentum to create like almost like a whirlwind that you suck people into, like a vacuum cleaner, and like a blender. Oh, can you imagine being like a spiral blender, because you have the ancient power of a Stegosaurus? And Queen just dislodged himself from his body, and that apparently was not due to cybernetics but the power of a dinosaur. And we saw further with the Triceratops guy, Sasaki, right? He was like rotating his thing like a helicopter. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's roll up into a ball and let's spin ourselves into a vortex style blender and just chew them up and spit them out. Blech. Stegosaurus fruit. I don't know how else I can elaborate any further because that fruit already seems awesome, right? If you have any more ideas down below for it, put them in. We can add some corrections in a couple videos from now, right? Good one, Milo. And the next two are from Internet Cowboy, who is a longtime supporter of this channel. I've been doing this for about a year, and I think he joined my channel maybe 4 months in. Maybe a little bit later, but I'm going to give him credit and say about, like, he's been here for a long time. He comments on all my posts, and I greatly appreciate it, man. You rule. So, he suggested 2 fruits. The cold fruit, not to be confused with Aokiji's chili fruit or ice fruit. This one's going to be a paramecia. This paramecia allows you to remove heat from people, just make it colder in the area. I would say maybe you can do it via like sucking the air up. Maybe you touch people and absorb it. There's a lot of things you can do with that fruit. And then the next one is going to be another dragon fruit model. Oh man, I'm losing it. Palocephalosaurus or something like that. I'll edit it in the video, and then I'll put in a cut of me saying it the right way really quick. After absolutely butchering the name, I had to go look it up. It is the Parasaurolophus, and it's like the long-headed dinosaur that has like it was basically theorized that they used that horn cresting that jutted from the top of their head to like honk and like do mating calls and stuff like that. So we'll get into the weirdness of that. So let's pivot back to the cold paramecia. So as the cold fruit user, I want to say this one will allow you to, and if you have a better name for it, like maybe like the frost fruit or something along those lines, just let me know down below what you think. So cold fruit, paramecia. This one, you know, let's say like your hands turn into some sort of like, I don't know, like fan or something like that, and you touch them and they automatically just start getting colder. I don't know if maybe your hands would turn frosty. Like you yourself could not turn to ice. You cannot turn to snow. You cannot turn to cold water. You cannot turn to cold wind. None of that Logia stuff. Just your hands, maybe your mouth, your eyes, maybe your hair or your feet, or like the guy from the non-canon episode that he had like a furnace belly. Maybe like some sort of reverse function of that where you got like a fridge belly or something. Help me out here, because this fruit is very, like, there's so many ways you could do this, right? You know, some devil fruits, they don't really have like an outward expression of what they do, or they're limited to the outward expression. So for this one, I'm thinking like your hands either get frosty, your breath shoots out, you know, kind of like very cold air, or like all in all you turn into some sort of awkward device that you like grasp onto your enemy, and kind of like Charlotte Smoothie, how she like sucks their moisture out by like wringing them dry. You take their body heat and remove it, but then you can also expel cold air into the surrounding area. And this is one of those devil fruits that you don't necessarily need to be a hockey master in either variety of hockey to make a very good utilization of it, because, you know, let's say even right now Mr. 3 is not good at using hockey, but the wax fruit gets hard enough to combat most forms of hockey, armament hockey especially, because if you're not an armament hockey master, you're probably not going to be able to break through any candle wall of his, right? But at the same time, there's so many things you can do with this, because let's say Akainu has just shot a bunch of lava like balls, but he has not identified you specifically. You can rapidly remove the heat in the air from those lava balls. Or if Charlotte Oven is heating up the ocean, right? You can do a reverse of that and start causing like a steam battle by sticking your hands in there and removing the heat from the ocean. And the rapid cool of that would cause a bunch of steam to rise up. That would be a problem in and of itself. If you and him got into a direct altercation and he's heating up, because really his outward expression of the devil fruit was just his hands glowing red, right? Maybe your hands could glow blue. Simple as that. Like I said, your frosty fingertips, windy breath, something of that nature, right? And you plunge them in, or you like blow the cold air on them, and they're just like, oh man, I'm getting weaker, I'm so cold. I can't defend myself. I really like all the theoretical applications of that fruit, right? Because let's say you do have the ability to blow wind forward, even if it's a cold wind. You're not going to be stuck on sea unless you have a paddle boat, right? Like, you don't have to worry about the calm belt because you can just hop up in the crow's nest and just start blowing directly into the sail yourself. Now, you might have to control the level of what you blow at, right? Because then you might F up your sail. But then, I guess at the same time, if you're doing it via your hands, maybe that might not allow you to control the sail. You're just going to make your sail cold with your hands. But if you're using the breath function of the fruit, because I don't see why you wouldn't be able to have both. Furthermore, I don't see why Charlotte Oven can't blow hot air on people. Maybe we only saw a couple expressions of his fruit because he wasn't a major character in Whole Cake Island. Who knows, right? But I really like the idea for this. I genuinely think you can get very creative with this and cause a lot of mayhem and chaos, and you can potentially use it for good. Imagine you're just so good you can just suck the heat right out of the air like it's nothing. Ace or Sabo can't even get a fireball out, right? I like the thought of it a lot. It's a great idea. Good job, Internet Cowboy. And now on to the second one, the Parasaurolophus. That's such a mouthful. It's that weird dinosaur. I think it's also in Land Before Time. Like I said, it's got the crest that juts backwards, and it kind of has like a duck mouth, almost. Not like a duck bill, but like it's just got like a weird, like funny lips, And this is more so like a passive creature. When I read about it, for the most part, it said that it was pretty much hunted to extinction before its era ended. And that's just, kind of tragic, but oh well, hear me out. If devil fruits inhibit an animalistic nature upon yourself because you have a Zoan devil fruit, maybe this one might make you a little more passive. I don't really see that as a big issue, though, especially if you can combat the nature of the animal within, as we've seen with certain other devil fruit users. I'm trying to keep this video spoiler free, I want it to be more evergreen content, so, you know who I'm talking about. So, the first function of the duckbill thing, right? Maybe you can use it to project fat sonic waves, just gonk, and just sonic beam people, like almost Guile's sonic boom, but you're doing it from your mouth and just bam, and just launching them things. Maybe you can use it to throw your voice very far away, but doing this allows you to communicate with people on the other side of the island. Maybe you're not able to hear them, but you're at least able to let them know, hey, we're being attacked on this side of the island. And your enemies might not be able to hear it because you're so adept at throwing your voice and shooting that out. Now, one thing about this dinosaur that quickly I noticed right away is that they said they were capable of reaching 5.5 metric tons. I don't know what the difference between a regular ton and a metric ton is, so of course I'm going to edit that down below, but that sounds pretty heavy. Furthermore, these guys got up to 40 feet long. I'm sure with Rokushiki or Haki or both, you can make some tail swipes really do some straight up damage. Not to mention, hybrid form doing, shave or airwalk, and then landing and, putting like a butt slam down on someone. They're not going to feel good in the morning if they got hit by that. Let's just say that. Now, an awakening for this one, I would feel would be more appropriate. I didn't give the Stegosaurus one an awakening because I feel like just, Zoans in general, they get the, the double stamina boost, the double strength boost, the sleek looking form, that kind of stuff in their awakening. Or they get taken over completely like we saw with the Impel Down Jailers. With either two of these dinosaurs, Stegosaurus or Parasaurolophus, I don't think they're known for being crazy. Like, I know we had the cow fruit user or the bull fruit user in Impel Down, and he was crazy. But I just feel like these ones are a little bit more simple, and they're heavily theorized to not be aggressive creatures, where cows can get pretty aggressive. But I could be wrong. Let me know if you think so down below. I personally think the Parasaurolophus as a devil fruit user, especially in hybrid and natural animal form, using the honk, like the sound beam to your advantage would be right up your alley. That would be where you should put the most of your stats in, next to like a fat tail whip or just understanding how to use your weight. I genuinely think certain devil fruits impart the weight of the animal onto the user upon turning into the hybrid form and animal form. I guess with Pell it doesn't really matter because he was flying and he had the strength and muscles of a bird of that human-sized proportion, right? He wasn't like a mini falcon. I forgot which one of my users. Don't get offended. I will screenshot you. He corrected me and he made me see the difference of a regular falcon and Pell with Luffy riding on him, right? With that being said, I wanted this to be a quicker, just like a chill time devil fruit video, just some more ideas just to throw out there, and we can keep our own devil fruit encyclopedia going. Devil fruit ideas are some of my favorite things to cook up with, especially with D&D. I'm actually going to D&D in about 30 minutes, which is another reason why I wanted this video to be a little shorter. But let me know if you guys got some ideas down below. I really don't mind continuing to use them for videos, and I love giving you guys the credit and shouting you guys out. You guys are really awesome here. And if you ever wanted just a video centered directly on your devil fruit and you want me to go into all the in-depths, the ins and outs of said devil fruit, what you could possibly do, because with Zoan devil fruits in particular going forward, I want to add rumble ball properties to them, because I feel like that is a heavily untalked about aspect in my videos, and I feel like it would add some good content. Let me know if you like that idea down below. It was just an idea because I read in an SBS that Chopper isn't the only Zoan form user altering their form. We have Onigumo using, just like the spider, and it's an unnamed spider devil fruit, and he just uses the legs or the arms rather, right? And then we have Black Maria, again a spider devil fruit user, an ancient spider devil fruit user, Rosa Megalia something, but she altered her form to look more attractive as a woman in hybrid form, to have those weird legs on the bottom. And I like that a lot, and I think that a rumble ball for any Zoan user, not just Choppers, adds a lot more possibilities. So that has been Devil Fruit Ideas Part 7. I'm Merch Runner Ricky. Have a good night, guys.